I'm Karen, and I teach writing for test prep, both SAT and CLEP. Today I want to talk a little bit about the SAT essay, and particularly what it means for second language learners. I found that there are some things that are especially important for second language learners to know. Some skills, like maintaining a consistent point of view, using adequate support to develop your argument, organizing effectively, are consistent across languages and across both sides of the Pacific, so the skills that you have in your native language do carry over. Still, it can feel pretty intimidating when you find yourself looking for the first time at a blank sheet of paper and a 25-minute time limit. So in addition to the lessons in composition and usage, we do quite a bit of work making that time limit less of an obstacle. There are various components, from anticipating prompts and developing kind of a grab bag of ideas, to brainstorming transition phrases, to practicing what to do at different time points. The SAT essay is, as you know, a 25-minute timed composition. It helps to have a strategy for what to do at different points during the 25 minutes. Today, I want to talk about how to use those last 4 to 5 minutes. I also want to share that if you're in a class with me, one of the exercises that I'll have you do at a couple points along the way is to tackle a prompt in just 20 minutes and send it to me. I'll help you come up with a customized plan for how to use your last several minutes. Ideally, most of this time will be spent revising and editing, but sometimes it's necessary to add more content. The strategy may change as you become a more skilled writer. If you've done enough skill development and time practice beforehand, you'll likely have a few minutes at the end for editing. Vocabulary, grammar, sentence structure, and conventions. You'll want to read your paper inside your head and get a sense of how it sounds. Some errors are actually more important than others. If someone has to read something a few times to get a sense of what it means, that's more serious than a missing word here or there. Second language learners sometimes get stressed about words like the and ah. If you can catch them, that's great, but it's not really something to worry about. Here we have an example of a high priority error and a lower one. Under the table, there were collars on the dogs, and we knew who they were. That's actually a pretty easy sentence to write under time constraints, even for someone whose first language is English. But you kind of have to read the sentence a few times to get a sense of what it's saying. On the right, the sentence, "He was good president," also does contain an error. There's a missing word, but people tend to read through it without noticing as much. So again, you want to have your priorities in mind before test taking time. One exercise that I like to have students do is to highlight what they notice in their own writing and to do it pretty quickly, to do it as an exercise of, just a couple minutes. And that really helps reduce stress test taking time. Of course, a part of confidence is having the skills. English language usage does figure into that. We spend a little time each week covering that. Here's one little example. False subjects, something that tends to trip up native English speakers as well as second language learners.